When most people make videos on fitness, their arguments can be summarized into literally one sentence. Just do it. Make it a priority to go work out and go to bed early. And as much as I like that sentiment, it's a little bit more complicated than that. If you want to be competitive for college admissions, your schedule will be extremely busy. The fitness content you see online is typically centered around doing everything you can possible to maximize your gains, but nothing else. Doing a 1.5 hour workout 6 days a week might be optimal for gains, but if it means tanking your high school GPA and scoring 100 points lower on your SAT, it is in no means worth it. Let's make it clear here. Working out probably isn't your #1 priority in high school. The only exception is like for athletes who actually need to work out in order to do well in their sport and get recruited to colleges. But for everyone else, going to the gym is probably the first thing you stop doing when school gets hard. And if we're being fully honest, you might not even go to the gym just because of how busy your schedule is. I had a subscriber comment on my last video asking about how to balance physical health with a busy schedule. When we talk about being competitive in competitions, in school, for your college apps, that means trying to get ahead in as many ways as possible. Maximizing your physical health is an absolute must and should be a priority for you. But being able to do that while spending the least amount of time is a skill. When you're physically healthy, you actually have the energy to get everything done. Instead of watching TikToks for 3 hours when you get home, you study, you do homework, and you're productive on your extracurriculars for the rest of the evening. The more days in a week that you're able to stick to that routine, the further you're able to separate your college application and the things that you're building from the rest of the pack. There's a couple key things you have to focus on to get to this stage. First, sleep is the foundation of everything. You can go read the published literature online or just trust me on this. If you don't sleep, your ability to memorize, the quality of the ideas that your brain produces, your progress in the gym and like with your physical goals, all of those just tank into the ground. You can try your best to power through high school on 4 hours of sleep a night, but eventually you will just hit a wall and then burn out for 3 months, and we don't want to get into that situation. The answer to this is simple. In one way or another, you're gonna figure out exactly how to get 8 hours of sleep on weekdays and 9 hours of sleep on weekends, period. I'm not here to waste your time by explaining how to get more sleep. There's a million guides out there on being more productive, getting your work done faster. It just boils down to making the actual time to go to sleep and then having a strict bedtime that you just follow, right? You get your work done by that hour, you kind of detox yourself by clearing your mind from all these like distractions and social media, let your body relax a little bit, and then go to sleep. If you don't have the discipline to actually stick to a bedtime routine during the academic year when you're trying to grind, you might as well just click off the video. Like, there's no point. That is the basis for everything else that I'm going to talk about now. Once you start getting good sleep, you'll start to notice that most of the problems you've had with having like a lack of motivation or limited self-control just start to disappear. Now, when it comes to being physically healthy, you can technically achieve that goal by just doing some kind of like moderate intensity cardio every day or every other day. That is like the basic level, is just going out doing like a 20-minute run. But let's be realistic. For most people who are watching this video, if you're gonna go ahead and do some kind of exercise, you want to see that have an impact on your physique. You want to be able to make progress physically as part of doing this exercise. A lot of high school guys and girls nowadays are gym rats. I know I was in high school. I started lifting weights around 10th grade time. So even all the way through like peak college admissions in junior year, I was lifting, I was working out. And so I'm gonna give you some slightly unconventional advice in regards to how I was able to lift and make progress in that regard, right? Get stronger, build more muscle, look better, while not letting it intrude and hinder on my academic life. The biggest obstacle you need to overcome is having enough time to work out. So in order to do this, we want to try and minimize the amount of time that all of the extra things related to gym take up. Things like commuting, warming up, any distractions that you have in the gym, so that we can maximize the amount of time that actually gets spent directly on working out and making those fitness goals. I think the best time to work out is when you feel a bit too mentally drained to keep working on like homework or to study. Effectively, going to the gym is your break. So for most people, that time is either directly after school, when you've just had like a long day of taking tests and taking notes and class, you feel tired, you want that break, instead of going home and being unproductive, you just go straight to the gym and you work out. The other alternative is if you feel like very motivated to do homework after school, go ahead and do that, right? Academics always comes first in these cases. Finish your grind session, and maybe around like 5 p.m., 6 p.m., when you're feeling a lot more drained, that's when you can go ahead and hit your workout. Now, let's say you're willing to block out an hour for your workout. If it takes you 15 minutes to drive to the gym, and then 15 minutes to drive back, maybe you spend a little 5 minutes on a warm-up, you run the math real quick, you only have 25 minutes to actually do your exercise, which is a problem. Ideally, we can maximize as much of this 1 hour as possible to go towards a workout, and we don't just instantly run into a problem. You want to go to a gym that's as close to your home as possible, even if that means paying a little bit extra. If you can find something that's walkable from your high school, that's even better, because at that point, you only have to walk over to the gym, you can go ahead, hit your workout, save the commute time in that sense, and then just drive home after. If you don't have a car, don't make that like an excuse for this either. Find another friend who does have a car, maybe it's like an upperclassman, maybe it's your homie, and then just go hit the gym with them and then carpool back. That's what I did a lot of days in high school. But let's say there are no options, or you just don't have the money. I only got like an actual membership to go to a gym when I was in my senior year of high school. During 10th and 11th grade, I was in this same boat. I just didn't have the money. There wasn't a gym nearby to my house. What do you do then? You can cut out the entire issue of commute time and not having money by just working out at home. For 90% of people, you can make genuine progress by just buying a pair of 10 to 20 pound dumbbells and combining that with bodyweight based workouts. Now, if you have an hour, that entire hour is dedicated towards working out. You literally just stand up from your desk, turn around, put the phone down on the side, or maybe you play a little bit of music from it, pick up the weights and just start going. The money that you would have spent on paying for like a gym membership can now instead be used towards buying adjustable dumbbells, buying a bench at home, doing little things to upgrade your setup, as well as even paying for things like protein powder and supplements that'll just in general help you with your lifestyle and your gym goals. The frequency of your workouts is also something you should think about. When you have the free time, you can work out 6 days in a week easily. Rest days are important for building muscle, but we want to take our rest days when you're legitimately busy studying for like a test or you have a competition coming up. Be smart about when you take your rest days so that it has a minimal impact on your training. This is something that I do even to this day in college. If I have the free time, I will work out for 6-7 days in a row. That way, when I actually have an exam coming up and I want to lock in, just focus purely on that exam, I can take a rest day, use that as my recovery, and know that all of my gym stuff is on great track, right? I'm continuing to make progress, I'm not skipping on anything, but at the same time, it's not impacting my academics in any way. I see so many Instagram reels and things like that where people are making jokes about how they're failing all their classes, but at least they get to hit the gym. I do understand the sentiment and like where people are coming from. Like if the gym is like your safe zone, that's cool. But for us, like for the people who have these types of academic focused goals, I'm sorry, you can't just do that. If you get a C in one of your classes, that's not something that you can just undo. But if you miss a workout, you can always just hit that workout tomorrow. It's not that serious. There are 100% going to be days in the school year where you have the time to work out, but you just don't feel like it. That's when you pull out your phone and you just watch 2 to 3 David Goggins inspirational TikToks. Your motivation will come back like that. Get locked in. Hit your push-ups, bro, just keep it going. The thing about exercise that's really interesting is the fact that when you put your body through like extra physical strain, it builds endurance. Over time, you get more used to that level of volume, that level of intensity. And so when it comes to your everyday life, if you're hitting, let's just say you like to go run, right? And you're usually doing like a couple mile run every day. Your body is very much used to that and accustomed to that level of physical intensity. And so when you go ahead and you live like your everyday life, you just have more energy in general. For a lot of people, what they don't understand is that like when you go through your school life and you're running around between classrooms, maybe you have some clubs after school, and you feel very physically drained, if you were to go ahead and do exercise in general and keep up your health in the long run, those everyday activities will not be as physically tiring and demanding for you. If you keep your body in very great health, you will just have more energy to do more things. It just makes you more productive in the long run. When you don't get tired as easily, you are more productive. It's that simple. With how competitive college apps are getting nowadays, sometimes it can also feel like everything you do, right? Any kind of volunteering you do, any kind of project that you start, even if you genuinely enjoy those things, there's always the thought in the back of your mind about having to like use these for college apps in the future. How is my college app coming along? Am I on track? Should I be doing more? Doing some kind of exercise is such a great outlet for your stress. You're just able to take your mind off of all of this other stuff going on in your life for at least 30 minutes to an hour, and that means so much, especially when you go ahead and do exercise after like a very long, stressful, grindy day mentally. It pumps out a ton of endorphins, which just overall increase your mood. They make you feel better. You're bumping the music that you like. When you feel good about yourself and the things that you're doing emotionally, you're feeling fantastic, you can be more productive. It's all just one big loop, one big cycle. You're able to do good things for your body, and in exchange, your body does good things for you, right? It allows you to go ahead and do that math homework that you were putting off for the last 2 weeks. The last element of health is just your diet. Get your protein in, and in general, eating a little bit more is a good thing. You hear stories every once in a while about like a 15-year-old eating an 1,000-calorie deficit, which will literally just stunt your growth. Lifting weights will not make you shorter in the long run, but starving yourself absolutely can. Bottom line here, drink your milk, little bro. It's good for you. I ended up making this video because you guys asked for it. Someone commented about it on a previous video, everyone liked it and replied to that comment, and so here it is. And I want to keep doing more like this in the future. If there's a topic related to college apps or high school that you want to know more about, just comment about it and we'll make it happen. I also haven't forgotten about the science fair videos and some of the reaction videos you guys have been asking for. I'll do my best to make those happen in the near future soon. All right, take care, y'all. Peace.